Hey there, I'm Lord Farquaad.
And I'm Dev34.
Welcome back to another Survival Island update video. In this video, we'll be covering a lot of topics that you guys have been asking about.
These topics include the current status of the beta, future plans and updates for the beta, news on the 1.1 update, as well as what we're planning with it, and how Just Cause 4 could affect the server. You can find timestamps in the description with all of the times that these topics are discussed so you can skip to what you're most interested in.
We've been in beta for about 4 weeks now. Almost 1,000 unique players have tried the server out, which is great. The first week of beta included multiple updates and fixes every day. The updates stopped for a while because I had to finish up school, but now that I'm done, updates will be much more frequent. We've got a lot planned for the near future, and a roadmap can be found on our Trello. There's a link to it in the description.
Many of you have asked if we're going to wipe the database after the beta ends. First off, we don't have a set length for the beta. It's going to last until 1.1 comes out because there are many features and fixes we need before we can have a fully working server. A couple of things that we need from the 1.1 update are the ability to spawn static objects, which gives us proper loot boxes in building, improved and fixed weapon API, which will allow us to actually use the ammo and durability properly, and also the ability to disable the DLC islands and a few other things. Once we do leave beta, there will likely be a database wipe. The main reason for this is to have a fresh start for everyone when building arrives. We want everyone to start equally when building comes so that everyone can build up the resources at the same time. Another reason is that the beta is the time for balancing everything, so we've been working a lot on that. There have been a few balance mishaps during the beta, and we don't want people to be underpowered or overpowered because of a balancing issue that wasn't addressed for a while. Transitioning to a full release gives us a chance to start over again. We're also looking into changing some leveling details, such as increasing the maximum level to 30 and making it easier to level in the first few levels and more difficult at the end. We also want to give players more inventory space, so we'll be adjusting some of that as well.
Some of you have asked about what our plans for the future of Survival Island look like. We have a roadmap on Trello in the description that you can check out. For the near future, aka before the 1.1 update, we have a bunch of items we'd like to add as well as some quality of life improvements. These items will make the server more fun and provide more gameplay opportunities for players. After the 1.1 update comes out is where the server really gets interesting. When the update comes, we'll likely take down the server for a bit while we work on the new features. There might be a small test session where players have a lot of resources so that they can test out the new features, such as building, before we go fully public. These features are going to be really important, so it's crucial that we make sure they work properly before they're released. The main new features that will come with 1.1 are building, supply crates, visual updates to loot boxes and storages, and crafting.
Building is a core part of any survival experience because it allows players to build bases and defend their turf and items. You'll be able to find various types of items that you can build with, such as walls and doors. We don't currently have a list of all the different types of build items yet that we're going to add, but we do have a lot of cool ideas for items that you'll be able to build your base with. However, you're going to need a land claim item in order to claim land so that you can build on it. These items will be found rarely in loot, and they will be various sizes. There will be a new menu so you can manage your land claims, and the amount of land claims you can place will be dependent on your level. However, you can place as many objects as you want within your land claim. There will also be specific weapons that can damage builds, so just shooting a wall with a pistol won't work. Lock storages will also come in at this time, so there will be items to break into storages. We'll have a lot more details in a future update video when building actually comes. Let us know what features you want for building.
Supply crates are going to be a core part of the server after the 1.1 update. They'll be the main way to obtain legendary tier items because, as you've probably noticed while playing the server thus far, you can't obtain legendary tier items yet. Supply crates will drop every few hours on the server and will be announced with a map a few hours beforehand on Discord. The map will show a general area that contains the area where the crate will drop, but won't show the exact location. A large cargo plane will fly overhead and drop a crate on that location, and players will be able to run up to it and open it like a loot box. These crates will have rare loot and a chance of legendary tier items. All announcements for supply crates will occur in-game and also in our Discord. Loot boxes are also going to be changed when 1.1 comes. Right now, we're just rendering 6 textures to form cubes because we wanted to get the server out to you guys. With this update, we'll actually be able to spawn objects with collision that will look a lot better. This will also affect storages because they'll now be actual objects instead of just textures.
We're also going to add crafting sometime after the 1.1 update. In order to craft items, you'll have to find a crafting table in loot, which can then be placed in your claim. This crafting system is going to be very different than the one we had in Fallen Civilization, which was our Just Cause 2 multiplayer survival server. It's intended to be a way to upgrade and create better gear for advanced players. There's a couple of different modes: decrafting items, crafting simple items, and crafting advanced items. We'll get into specifics on how all this works when we get closer to releasing the feature. For news on the 1.1 update, yes, the 1.1 update is still being worked on. There was a large development hiatus because the lead developer had a very demanding job, but he's back for a while now, and he's been hard at work with the 1.1 update. As of right now, there isn't an ETA for it. Once the testers have a build, it'll be very soon though.
Just Cause 4 was announced at E3, which is awesome. From the previews, it looks like it's going to be the best Just Cause game yet. The landscape also looks excellent for a survival server. However, Just Cause 4 will not release with multiplayer. Now, here's a question you might be asking. When Just Cause 4 comes out, are you going to stop working on Survival Island? No. We will continue to create more updates and content for Survival Island until some sort of multiplayer is released for Just Cause 4. That will probably be at least a year after Just Cause 4 is released, if not more. So we'll see what our plans are at that time, but this will mean plenty more updates for Survival Island during this time. Dennis from Nanos has stated that if Nanos creates a multiplayer for Just Cause 4, it will have servers similar to that in GTA Online, complete with official servers and game modes, including co-op. However, there will also be a scripting API for developers so that they can create their own servers, which means that a survival server would be possible.
This is survival.
That's a long way off though, so we'll keep you updated as things develop.
Here's a little summary of what was discussed in the video. More updates coming to the servers soon, plus more after 1.1. Beta ends with the 1.1 update, plus a likely database reset. But there'll be building and supply crates on the server. Even though Just Cause 4 has been announced, we aren't going to stop developing Survival Island.